All right, let's dive into a really fascinating spiritual framework. It's all presented through this story about a high schooler named Evelyn and her kind of mysterious teacher, Lord Blue. And what they explore is this idea that our spiritual journey, well, it's like a cosmic university we're all trying to graduate from.
So I want you to picture this. You're in a high school gym. It's one of those mandatory mindful living workshops. The air smells like old sneakers and floor polish. And this quiet guy, who the students have nicknamed Lord Blue, is about to start a lesson that basically unravels the hidden mechanics of the soul.
And he starts with this: your soul has friends and enemies. I mean, talk about an opening line. It's definitely not what you expect to hear in a school assembly. And just like that, he cuts through all the noise and sets the stage for this world of unseen forces that are playing out all around us and inside us all the time.
Okay, so let's get into this first big idea, this concept that everyone radiates a certain type of spiritual energy. And this energy, well, it basically divides people into two very distinct groups.
According to this system, you're either what's called a glow, someone with this pure, uplifting energy that literally makes others feel better, or you're a flicker. A flicker's energy is kind of clogged and heavy, and it can pollute the auras of people around them. And you know this intuitively, right? It just feels better to be around someone who's genuinely happy and glowing than someone who's downcast and, well, flickering.
So, the big question is, what makes you a glow or a flicker? Well, it all comes down to these 7 core energy centers or portals that are inside the body. Think of them as the command centers for your soul.
These portals are kind of like cosmic transformers. They take in this pure, high-voltage energy from the mystic world and they step it down. They convert it into a force that we can actually use here in our physical reality. The condition of these portals, whether they're open or clogged, dictates pretty much everything about our lives.
And this is where you can really see the stakes. When those portals are clear, your energy just flows. You feel creative, you feel confident, you have that glow. But when they're blocked, that's when tiredness, sickness, and just that feeling of mental fog starts to creep in. Now, I know this mystic energy stuff can feel a little abstract, so to make it more concrete, the framework uses this really powerful metaphor. It asks us to think about our spiritual energy like a bank account that gets a new deposit every single day. And just like with money, most people are living paycheck to paycheck with their energy. They get their daily amount, and they spend it almost immediately on everything. There's nothing left over, nothing in savings for personal growth or to help anyone else. So every single day, you're faced with a choice. You can take that daily energy, that sacred fire, and invest it. Spend it on virtuous acts, on selfless service, and when you do that, it actually multiplies. Or you can waste it. You can blow it on what the text calls sensational eruptions. Big outbursts of anger, gossip, that kind of thing. They give you a quick rush for sure, but they completely drain your account. So, if the system is so simple, just invest your energy wisely and become a glow, why isn't everybody doing it? Well, the framework points to 2 huge obstacles that keep us from graduating: our attachments and a kind of spiritual amnesia. The first hurdle is attachment, and this isn't just about hoarding stuff, which definitely clutters up our energy fields. It's also about addictions, or even something as subtle as selfishly claiming total ownership over your creative work. All these things act like anchors, tying our soul to the material plane and restricting its freedom. And that leads to the second, much deeper problem. We forget. We come into each life with a clean slate, with no memory of past lessons or powers we might have earned. And this collective forgetting is what pushes Evelyn to ask this absolutely essential question. And Lord Blue answers with this just brilliant analogy. He says all our past wisdom and power is like a massive trust fund. Now, you wouldn't give a little kid full unrestricted access to millions of dollars, would you? Of course not. In the same way, the universe holds back our full mystic potential until we prove that our new self, our new ego, is mature enough to handle it all responsibly. So get this, the powers aren't gone. They're not lost forever, they're just locked away. You have to earn them back. And every lifetime, you have to do the work all over again to rediscover and reclaim those abilities through self-mastery. And all of this really comes down to one central theme: free will. And the final analogy here is maybe the most powerful one of all, because it explains how we literally build ourselves, from scratch, in every life. The whole idea starts with this really beautiful, simple image. Every soul begins as a perfect seed. And inside that single seed is the complete blueprint, all the potential to become a perfect tree, just like its creator. And this is the key,
that perfection is only potential. An apple just sitting on a counter isn't a tree yet, right? It's through our choices, through the soil we plant ourselves in, that we grow from that blueprint into a totally unique tree with our own branches, our own roots.
So ultimately, our whole life is a series of choices between two stores. On one side, you have the conscience store, where you can pick up virtues and divine feelings to build your character. And on the other, you have the tempter, offering all these cheap, easy habits that feel good for a second but are totally out of line with your soul's real mission.
And this is the part that is profound and honestly a little terrifying. It's the ultimate consequence of free will. You can be warned. Your conscience can be screaming at you. But at the end of the day, no angel, no cosmic being is allowed to step in and stop you from making a bad choice. That responsibility is 100% yours. So the story leaves us with this final thought that kind of flips the whole thing on its head. What if graduation isn't some finish line that we're all racing to cross? What if the whole point is the mystery itself, this profound puzzle of our own potential, just waiting for us to solve it?